Hey, welcome back everyone to Cooking with Gerald. Today we're going to be making sausage stuffed mushrooms. Um, let's go ahead and get started. The ingredients that you'll need is going to be a carton of the white button mushrooms, or you can get the small baby portobellos. Also sausage, spicy or regular, your choice, mozzarella cheese, body of seasoning, Parmesan cheese, red pepper flakes, which is optional as well. And this cheese blend that I found at the DeKalb Farmers Market in Atlanta, it's actually American cheese, Parmesan, and cheddar blended together, and it's actually pretty creamy, like a processed cheese kind of. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually clean the mushrooms. Um, Most people will tell you just to wipe the mushrooms caps off with a damp paper towel or a damp cloth. I, on the other hand, prefer to put them in a bowl of water right before I get ready to use them. And what I do is take a damp towel, wipe them off, actually a dry towel, and wipe them off after I pull them out of the water, and then set them aside. After you get finished, you'll be able to see, as you can see right here, that the bowl, all the dirt that was in the mushrooms are at the bottom of the bowl. You would not have been able to get all of that dirt off by just simply wiping them off with a damp paper towel. So that's why I like using the bowl of water, but you want to do them right before you cook them and not ahead of time and putting them back in the refrigerator because mushrooms do absorb liquid. So what you want to do now is take the mushrooms caps or mushroom stems, pull them out of the caps, but be very careful so that you don't tear the mushroom cap. Once you get finished with those, what we're going to do is chop them up, the mushroom stems, in small pieces, pretty much about the same size as the onions that we're going to finally chop up. And what we're going to do is add that to the onion mixture, saute it with it to add to the stuffing for the mushroom caps. So we're going to go ahead and finish cutting up the mushrooms stems, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. This video is being brought to you by Gerald's Heavenly Desserts. Heavenly homemade desserts made from scratch with love. Please visit our website at www.geraldsheavenlydesserts.com. All right, welcome back. We've finished chopping up the mushroom stems. Now we're dicing up our onion in real small pieces, about the same size as the mushroom stems, as you can see below. Um, you also can add fresh garlic to this if you like as well, in addition to the onions and the mushroom stems. That's optional. What we're going to do, now that we got all of those chopped up, we're going to actually put them in a skillet with about 2 tablespoons of, I like to use extra virgin olive oil. You can also use canola oil. Saute those until they become translucent, um, which takes about 4 or 5 minutes over a medium to medium high heat, whichever you're comfortable with. After finish sauteing those, what we're going to do is add the sausage. But before we add the sausage, we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings. Right now, adding the rosemary. I'm sorry, the actual thyme, which I forgot to add to tell you about as an ingredient as well. So it's probably about a teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme, or fresh thyme, whichever you have. After adding that into the mixture, you want to add your sausage. If you choose to use just a regular pork sausage, you can. I like to use the breakfast sausage. Sometimes I'll get the spicy sausage, um, but most of the time I just get the regular. Um, so go ahead and saute the sausage with the onions and the mushrooms until they're combined and the mixture is cooked. After you've finished cooking them, you want to turn your heat down, and then we'll go ahead and start adding the rest of our seasonings, which is the body of seasoning, which is, to me, is a seasoning that has a lot of different other spices in it. It's not spicy, and it's not real. It doesn't have a lot of sodium in it either, and it's something that kind of wakes the food up, the flavor of the food up, pretty much like uh, accent, if you're familiar with that. What we're going to add next is a fourth of a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, or the Parmesan cheese in the shaker. Uh, Go ahead and combine that with the mixture. And then the next thing you're going to add in there is going to be the some of the grated, half of the grated mozzarella cheese and half of that um, Parmesan, American, and cheddar blend. We want to save half of it so that we can actually sprinkle over the top of the mushrooms once we get them stuffed, the mushroom caps. So once we get that in the pot, go ahead and combine it together. What this is going to do is it's going to bring the filling together so that it's more solid and not loose, if that makes sense. Because with the cheese melting, it's going to make it all combine together. So it'll be easier to put inside of the mushroom caps to stuff them. We'll be right back after this commercial break. This video is being brought to you by Gerald's Heavenly Desserts. Heavenly homemade desserts made from scratch with love. Please visit our website at www.geraldsheavenlydesserts.com. All right, welcome back. We finished sauteing, or actually I shouldn't say sauteing, but finished um, stirring up the mixture with the cheese. As you can see, there's a lot of oil from the sausage. So what I've done is kind of like propped it up on the side of the stove so that all of the oil or grease drains to one side. And then I'll take an ice cream scoop, about a 2 tablespoons, a small ice cream scoop, and scoop the mixture up in the scoop and put it inside the mushroom caps. What I do is I take the rounded portion of the mixture from the scoop and flip it upside down so that it sits right down inside of the cap. And usually I'll take my fingers and press it down the mixture a little bit to make sure that it's in there really well. After I get finished with that, what I usually will do is put them inside the shallow dish, obviously, and then take the remainder of the cheese and sprinkle over the top. I also take some of the powdered Parmesan that comes in a shaker, and I'll sprinkle that over the top as well. In this recipe, you should have noticed that I did not use any salt. The reason being is because the cheese has plenty of salt in it, and that body of seasoning has some sodium in it as well. So we don't want to overpower with a lot of salt. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and preheat the oven at 350. We're going to put these in the oven, the preheated oven, for about 30 to 35 minutes, just enough to cook the mushroom caps. And then we'll go ahead and pull them out. We'll be back. This video is being brought to you by Gerald's Heavenly Desserts. Heavenly homemade desserts made from scratch with love. Please visit our website at www.geraldsheavenlydesserts.com. All right, now we're back. The mushroom caps are done. They have a slight brown, light brown toast on the cheese, and the mushrooms caps are fully cooked. There's juice, a little juice at the bottom. Go ahead and plate these up. They are super duper delicious as appetizers. Sometimes I'll eat 4 or 5 of them as a meal. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. You can also subscribe to our channel. Also, if you can share your comments down below, and if there's something that you'd like me to cook, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll gladly go ahead and do that for you. Once again, thanks for tuning into my channel. You have a good day. Until next time.